private world that rocks right around the clock. The ultimate Sweet 16 fantasy. At the junior prom, the whole school danced to her chart-topping single. By graduation a year later, she was the high school's veteran hitmaker, the youngest person in all music history to write, produce and perform a #1 song. All the while, the girl next door was fast becoming a woman. From bubblegum to high glam, she grew up so fast there was never time to look back. As Debbie Gibson prepared to launch her new all-woman image onto a world tour, I asked her to do just that.
When you were a very, very little girl, you ever dreamed this was going to happen?
I always dreamed it was going to happen. I mean,
how little?
From like 4 years old, there was never a doubt in my mind. And that's not coming from being conceited, it's coming from being real confident. I never gave myself anything to fall back on because I never thought I was going to fall back. You know, people would say, well, what if it doesn't happen? I said, there's no what if, it's going to happen.
That kind of determination fuels a grand plan to stay at the top. Lifestyles returns in a moment with an amazing first ever journey into the very private world of... Debbie Gibson made the change from teen queen to sultry star beautifully. Her new all-grown-up style proves the title track of her 1990 hit album. Slick, sexy and seriously sophisticated, the former electric youth is turning on a whole new generation. But don't even think about calling Debbie an overnight success or saying she's been lucky.
I know what I've done to get to the point I'm at, and a lot of times, you know, it's hard, and a lot of times you don't feel like explaining to people over and over, look, I've paid my dues. You know, you have to stay strong and sometimes ignore what people are saying. You can't ignore constructive criticism because sometimes it can be real helpful. But like I said, when it comes to, oh, you haven't paid your dues because you're young, I know that's not true, so.
Such hard-won realism helped make Debbie a multi-million-dollar music mogul before the age of 21. Out of the public eye, her private world is a place no television cameras have entered until now. Just a 40-minute drive from Manhattan, her top-secret hideaway is a secluded home built from triple platinum albums. After each tour, she returns to a 10,000-square-foot ultra-modern estate that could belong to any super-successful New Yorker. Only the vintage 1960 T-Bird tells you it's the private domain of the singing sensation all the boys want and all the girls want to be like. Along with her pets, Debbie shares the 20-room mansion with her manager mom Diane and younger sister Denise. In addition to being a sanctuary, the heartbeat of her business and home sweet home, it's also where she keeps fame and fortune in perspective.
Even if you're going to move into a big house, you have to keep a small house attitude. Money doesn't grow on trees, you know. You hit ups and downs, you know. You want to kind of, I think, save, invest, and stuff like that. Really what I want is just to be able to live comfortably and have creative freedom.
Staying on top means staying in shape. Daily workouts in the home gymnasium keep her toned up to dream up new dance moves for her stage acts. A step away from the bedroom mirror, music comes alive at the touch of a button in her 48-track state-of-the-art studio. It's
a really big luxury to have the studio in the house because you get an idea, you can just go in, put it down immediately, and that's the way I like to work. It's funny because people will say, you have a day off, why are you in the studio? And I said, because I've got ideas and I want to get them out of my system. It's my hobby as well as my career. And I think that the second it stops becoming fun is the second I should give it up.
That's unlikely when you consider that music's been Debbie's lifetime mission. Her extraordinary success story began a few years after she was born in 1970.
it was always like I ate, slept, wrote songs. You know, it's like it was always a part of what I did. I always loved to entertain any which way I could, starting from when I was about 2 years old.
That was when her parents, now living apart, bought her a tiny guitar. Mum Diane couldn't believe her ears.
I mean, you don't have a child of 2 years old who listens to the radio and can play what they hear. You know, that can't be your average child. It can't be even your average talented child.
A prodigy at 4, little Debbie studied piano. By 5, she was a wonderkin, being groomed for the classics. But at 8, she discovered rock and roll, thanks to fellow Long Islander Billy Joel. After one of his shows, she began writing songs with such hit potential that 5 years later, her parents sealed her fate. They borrowed $16,000 to set up a mini recording studio downstairs in the basement. And in a Lifestyles exclusive, we proudly present Debbie Gibson's first unpaid performance in a neighborhood candy store at age 13. Between cheerleading practice, she shopped her songs among local discos and radio DJs. She broke into the area club scene, then won some commercial jingles, but not without paying a price.
I mean, I can remember going to sleepover parties, getting there late, right from coming back from rehearsal from the Met or something, you know, getting in and with all my makeup on from doing a show or something, you know. And obviously that was different, you know, I guess, than a normal school life.
Mum remembers it all too well.
She gave up a lot. She gave up a lot of things that kids at 13 and 15 and 16 do. You know, she would pass up parties or games or things like that and stay home and record music, and this was her choice.
In 1986, just before her sweet 16th, she spun to stardom with Only in My Dreams. The following year, she signed a colossal contract with Atlantic Records. And as each album proved, Debbie had just the right sound for the times. Out of the Blue sold 3 million copies and spawned 5 top 10 singles. In 1988, Foolish Beat crowned her teen queen before her 18th birthday.
And when we said goodbye, look in your eyes, just let
A year later, Electric Youth became a teenage anthem. Then came her 1990 album, Anything Is Possible. It established her as a worldly woman who made it her business to be number 1, all before her 21st birthday.
I'm not even anywhere near where I want to be. My main goal is longevity, and I'll work my butt off until everything I want to happen happens. And like I said, a lot of it has happened. There's a lot further I want to go, though.
From bubblegum to the big time, Debbie Gibson's clearly let the world know.